don't do everything 100%.
Okay.
And I was just like, you're delusional. You're
What do you
not
mean
an artist.
100%? Yeah.
How could you not put 100% in it? He was right. He understood idea of doing everything 80%. And that really, me like experiencing that made me realize, yeah, like it doesn't need to be like artistic every time. And also it doesn't need to be bad in order to deliver the result and the work.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Grow Up, Level Up, the podcast where we talk about the fun and games that helped us grow up, as well as how they influence us today as adults. If you're watching a video, we are adults on this podcast. Of course, my name is Samson. I am your host for Grow Up, Level Up. Today we have another special guest, another, honestly, like old friend of mine. I keep bringing on my old friends to talk about what the heck they're doing. Because it's awesome. Before we get into who our guest is, just a little bit of housekeeping. Going into the month of September and October, there's going to be something really exciting happening on the Grow Up Level Up podcast. So make sure that you are still subscribed and following on all our socials at Grow Up Level Up, so you know when those new announcements come up. So definitely look forward to that. Stay tuned at Grow Up Level Up, as well as, if you can, join our Discord. The link will be in the description below. So today, like I said, I'm bringing in an old friend of mine from way back in high school. Mm-hmm. Please welcome Philip Seo.
Yeah.
Applause.
Self-clap.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I usually actually insert applause noise.
Okay.
I have sound effects.
Thank you.
Yeah, so welcome, Philip, to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, in 60 seconds or less, can you quickly explain what you do and what your day job is?
Yeah, well, my name is Philip. My name is Philip Seo. Korean name is Sunghyun, if you didn't know as well. I am a filmmaker, videographer. Well, nowadays we call it content creator. And I do a bit of photography work too. Yeah, I help brands and businesses, and I help personal brands to really like capture their branding, like their aesthetic. I help them to revamp how they look, how they want to, showcase their product, business, and also I help church organizations and groups and personal branding to tell stories with video. And yeah, that's what I do. I come from music video making background, and I also did a lot of documentary work. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like a jack of all trades for video work. Yeah. That's awesome. So before we get further into what you do and how you ended up doing it, right, I'd like to ask you, what did you bring to drink today on the podcast?
Oh, yeah. So I went to, since I love, Yaletown. They have great coffee. So I brought Analog.
Analog coffee. It's not bad.
Coffee. Yeah, I love their space. I just wanted to get my blood going. So I brought coffee.
Get it hyped. Yeah. No, that's good. Yes. Thanks for shouting out Yaletown. We are shooting in Yaletown today in Vancouver at the Launch Academy offices, my personal workspace. Yeah. But Launch Academy, we help tech startups. So if you're a tech startup, we'd probably love to work with you, and check us out at launchacademy.ca. So yeah, that's pretty good. Today, I brought water, but then Philip's got me in a good mood. So I went and grabbed a nice cold lager.
Nice.
So cheers.
Yes. Beers and coffee.
Cheers. Yeah. So, although we're going to talk about content creation today, I do need to ask the question I ask every guest. Mm-hmm. What are your top 3 games of all time?
Yeah, so I really thought about it. And I think top 1. No, I guess I go with top 3.
Top 3, yeah.
Top 3.
In no order. It doesn't
Yeah. I love FIFA.
Oh,
I used to really enjoy Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
FIFA. I remember brother and I, we always played FIFA together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and second was Wii Sports. Yeah, it's I can't not forget all those days where I first came to Canada. We were like No, we had nothing to do but play Wii Sports. So I
Mm,
loved Wii Sports.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and
You got one more?
yeah, and I forget. I wrote it down, but I
It's
think it
okay.
was Flappy Bird. So old things. I think I stayed away from like gaming so much,
Yeah.
but here and there I play. But yeah,
I mean, hey, that's still valid,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's good memories.
Yeah, Wii Sports is a big deal.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
everyone's played some Wii Sports. You're the
Yeah.
first Wii Sports answer in FIFA. Also very popular. Flappy Bird. I haven't heard Flappy Bird in so long. So that's awesome you
Yeah,
brought
that was
that up.
gold.
No, what great top 3 games. So going back into content creation. Sorry, actually one more thing.
Yeah.
I want to actually share about how we know each other.
Yeah.
Because it is like I said, Philip's an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
It was actually back when we were, I think I was in grade 12 and you just entered high school in grade 9. So I was your senior, you were my freshman, junior, right? And we actually sang in the same band and choir together for that year. And it was like kind of awesome.
No,
it was how we got to know each other. So shout out to the Carmichaels, of course.
Hope
Mr. and Mrs. Carmichael. Yeah, I think they're doing well. Great band teachers, and they really helped not just us, but a whole generation of kids like network's the buzzword. Really become friends and build relationships, right?
Yeah, they really helped a lot of international students too, and also like a lot of people who couldn't really like just transition into high school. I think they really loved the space that they created too, and I was one of them as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was a very safe place for me to be who I was. So it was really, really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's one thing. You were an international student going into grade 9 and did not really have that space, right? That's awesome. Back to content creation. So you already shared a little bit about it. You are a filmmaker, but nowadays they're called content creators. For many things like churches, music videos, to what other brands, right?
Yeah.
So that seems like all over the place. What does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so it's very spontaneous. Although I have like set schedules for shooting days, and I have set schedules for meetings. Except for that, I wake up about 9 to 10. Go straight down to kitchen and drink a cup of coffee. That's most important. Matchstick coffee. I make a big batch to start the day.
Are you a big coffee nerd?
I think so.
Matchstick
I'm not a big educator on the coffee, but I love coffee and I just love the taste, and it gets me going. That short routine of the day gets me going, and then I start editing basically.
In the morning.
I start checking the emails, and then right away I start editing, and then for a few hours I start to get engaged with like the routine, bit of just like non-creative work, such as loading off the footage and making sure everything is in order, making sure everything's kind of backed up, and also sometimes it's a lot of short, a lot of like in the morning work. It's really non-creative work where I cut ins and outs.
Okay.
And then when I go into a mood of okay, let's be creative, and then I get into a system of like okay, let's do creative work, and then I put music, and then I do the editing. Yeah. So day to day, I usually edit a lot. So 70% of the time when I sit down is editing times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so 70% of your day to day is like editing, not necessarily shooting.
Yeah. So I
interesting.
think 30% is shooting. Yeah.
Okay.
But when I have to shoot, I think I just wake up and get my gears ready, and then I travel to the shoot location, and then come back and then load up the footage.
Oh, okay. So your day to day is like, pretty much desk work.
Yeah.
But even within that, it's separated. That's so fascinating to me. Like you wake up, have your coffee, do the admin stuff, I guess, emails, load footage in, and then you do like you kind of warm up to the creative stuff by like cut ins and outs.
Non-creative work. because
Okay.
a lot of it, it's just organizations and ins and outs. And
Mm.
later you work with the cold footages. So
Okay.
it's just like non-creative work in the morning and then good creative work in the
Oh, very interesting.
yeah.
So, are you like a night owl then? You
I
work.
think so. Yeah. I
Ah.
work very well during the nights. Yeah, I
That's
think so.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your shoot days? You said you pack your gear,
Mm.
you go to the location, and then you shoot. Like, are those longer days, or kind of depends on the project?
Depending on the project, honestly.
Hmm.
But usually when I have to shoot, it's just working with a client so much.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's I set up everything, camera, light, audio, and they come in and sit down. We talk, and then we film.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's outdoor locations. We go out and then we go by the shot list. So basically, we just go by the book, and then the shot list will tell us, oh, go out location, shoot here and there, and then finish off. So
Oh,
we
okay.
go, yeah, we run like that. I think
Wow.
most of the times.
Well, it sounds like you learned so much or know so much about how to shoot efficiently and how to edit efficiently. Like,
Mhm.
where did you learn how to do all this?
Yeah, so well, I did go to film school. There's the whole notion about, well, can should you go to film school or not go to film
Oh,
school?
okay. Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of things that I picked up and then learned from is not from film school. So
Interesting.
I really had to, because this is more like a video production work
Okay.
rather than film industry work.
Okay.
So these are the things that I don't think not that many people teach you about. Is that you have to kind of jump into like actually working with client, understand what they want, and then
Hmm.
giving them what they want at the same time, putting a bit of sauce on top with your creativity. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
your
think
style,
yeah,
right?
yeah, the style.
Okay.
So I think taught myself, although I don't want to credit everything that just because I got help from a lot of um, crazy filmmakers out there who helped me along the way, and
Mhm.
also a lot of mentors and well, school helped me to become more professional, have a professional mindset.
Mm.
So that's everything together. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I taught myself, but at the same time, school taught me too. Yeah. So
It's a little bit of everything. It's like a
yeah,
mix, right? It's
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
just school taught you. It's some of the soft skills like working with clients
Hmm.
that can't be taught.
Yeah, I failed a lot. I failed with a lot of ego when I first started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I really wanted to perfect the craft so much that it kind of made the process of enjoying the project together
Mm.
made it more more stressful. So
Mm.
I think I by failing with a lot of gigs and clients, I learned to kind of let go at the same time, really holding on to that professionalism at the same time, putting that sauce on top and like
Mm.
creativity as well.
Um,
Yeah.
if you want to it, I
Hmm.
I, I want to dive in. Like,
Hmm.
what was the big, not big failure, but big turning point that made your perspective really change? If you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Well, I could start with a fun story.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
so it was my I think fifth or fourth gigs. So when I first got out of I was still attending school.
Mhm.
I was just finishing off my second year in film school. I did a lot of video work, but it was my first time shooting photography for a client for the first time.
Mm.
And then I thought, wow, like I I get to pay I get paid for taking photos.
Yeah.
I am so fascinated by the fact that I get paid for what I love to do.
Hmm.
At the same time, I was like, well, like I deserve because I have all the creativity.
Mm.
So
It was the ego that you were
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
And then I booked a studio in Vancouver. I
Wow.
brought in a client who are like instrument players. So basically they were I think they're like I don't know how to call them, but like small orchestra. Like
Mhm.
they're like the violin and cello. Like there are five of them.
A quartet?
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah,
quintet,
yeah,
quintet
yeah.
for
So
5, yeah.
basically, they were my first client. They're like just like Korean moms,
Oh.
but like they were still willing to pay like a lot at that time.
Yeah.
When you're 20, everything is a lot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
when they
A
give
student
you,
as well, right? Yeah.
And then I booked the studio. I shot everything. Everything looked perfect. I gave 100% in, and then my friend called me over. Hey, do you want to watch a Winter Olympic game?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went over to my friend's house, and then we had so much fun together. Took
Mhm.
some photos
Oh.
after the client work together,
Oh.
and then gave them the photos because they wanted the hangout day photo. And then I came home,
Okay.
couldn't find my SD card.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just
With the
gone.
same, the same
It's just
one.
gone, and I'm just like, okay. The client spent 3 hours with me, and I lost the SD card.
Mhm.
So those kind of things, I'm like, wow, like how do I deal with it? How do I sincerely give them apologies, and like
Mhm.
how do I say sorry, and how do I gain trust back? All that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that's just a small story, but anything else too, like I think working with an artist or working with a friend, and it just helped me to understand it's not really about making your craft perfect and then making yourself look to the best. It's really about relationship, and I think it's the journey along the way. But
Mm.
if you're so in a mind, I was so in a mindset that like I need to make this craft so perfect nobody can touch it,
Mhm.
then nobody could jump into that journey together. So yeah, I'm still learning, but I realize more value there is relationship is the best thing that you could really just craft first, and then the skills will come to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an amazing story.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, totally tons of different like wisdom there.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone's been in some similar situation
Yeah.
where you're like, yeah, I'll do it. You do it, did great, but then you screw up. Like a couple hours later, you
Yeah.
like got lazy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think the important thing is you learn from it,
Mhm.
and it sounds like you did. So
Yeah, yeah.
learn more than just to put your SD card away. You learn a little bit about yourself too.
Yeah, that's important too. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that story
Yeah, no
again.
problem. No
I think
problem.
that's a really cool lesson that a lot of people not only can learn from, but can also feel validated by.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
feel like everyone's done that in their work where they screw up, but at the same time are met with like forgiveness and in a way
Mhm.
grow from it, right?
Yeah, so the client actually they were very generous and they're willing to pay one more time.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, I know you're a young kid, and we really appreciated the process that we took on the first day. So I know you're trying to gain back the trust because I was giving them like another free shoot
Totally.
and then another free shoot after. And they're like, yeah, we understand you. And then, yeah, just forgiveness there. And then just understanding that I don't deserve everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're already like punishing yourself.
Yeah.
They don't need to pile on.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really
Oh,
great.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a great
Yeah.
story.
Mhm.
So that was your nightmare project. What was your favorite project to work on so
Um,
far?
yeah, I think one of the documentary I made,
Hmm.
it was um it was a church documentary.
Oh, cool.
It's not it's not my favorite because I like the final product,
Hmm.
but that was a time that I really had a big burnout, and I had a really big confusion in my life where I was like, do I really bet like filmmaking for the rest of my life,
Oh,
or
okay.
what am I?
Yeah.
Like, so when there was like big quarter life crisis, a client reached out to me, said, hey, we really appreciate all the videos you made.
Hmm.
Can you make like 70th year anniversary video for our church?
Hmm.
And then along that project, I think I really enjoyed interviewing people, like genuinely loving and genuinely just caring about their community.
Hmm.
And then the process was relationship first. How like it doesn't need to be perfect video, but we want to really like melt down what we value within the video. So uh, you have a whole creative control.
Wow.
We want to really understand just filmmaking journey as well. So you teach me, we will like adapt with you, and then
Mm.
from there, I think I understand like how to work with a client who's really respectful at the same time. These are the clients that I think I want to like attract.
Mhm.
And also it's not really about like flashing life, flashing videography journey, because there are so many flashy videography journey where you go to F1 racing,
Sure. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go to Dubai to film.
Yeah. Sure.
I think
Film a Marvel movie kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I chased that so much
Hmm.
because I didn't have anything. I think it just goes back to the point where I first moved to Canada, but we'll share about that later. But I
Mhm.
think like understanding that it's about really the journey of making whatever the video is.
Mm.
And I think that was the first project that like cracked me open. Like this
Oh.
is the ideal life of filmmaking journey that you want to be. It's not really, and then it's turned out to be the best, like quality of the image is when I'm relaxed, I know how to light better.
Oh.
When
Okay.
I'm relaxed, I know how to talk to people better to grab their story
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
better. And then I think even though to some of the standard that people want to watch
Mhm.
and like more exotic stories, I think I really like the final product.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think I really really like hone in that story where okay, this is the process that puts me to the standard. This is where you want to hit.
Right.
Like this is the fun. This is the respect. This is the mannerism. This is the professionalism you want to have when you make another project.
Hmm.
So that it's called the newest Christian Reformed Church.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yeah, shout
But
out to them. Like they were like really good client that made me realize important lesson.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. No, that sounds like a great project.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
because it not only were you able to put out an even better product, you
Mhm.
learned something about yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the same time, you were helping people
Mhm.
with this cool project with your talent.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is a quick one, but like,
Yeah.
how do you choose what products to work on or projects to work on? And I know money is probably one of them.
Yeah, 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 for sure. I think I my colleagues, my filmmaker friends, and also some of the business friends understand, but
Mhm.
it's really the balance. I think we're all struggling. Like at least people that I talked to recently.
Content creators.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's the balance of understanding. Do I do it for the money? But it just comes down to having your own red flags, understanding when to say no, and understanding when to sacrifice for sake of the next paycheck.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Mhm.
just I get client and products based on word of mouth. That's the first thing. I think that's really good way to just healthy in a healthy way to continue
Mhm.
as a filmmaker or content creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and
Organic.
also just knowing knowing a good marketer too,
Mm.
knowing having a good like business colleague slash friend who understands same value that gives that want to attract the same client.
Hmm. Okay.
So right now, my friend William Yang, him and I we work a lot together on different projects. I think he bring in the clients that like values the
Cool.
relationship the most, and yeah, they understand the same aesthetic, and
Cool.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, speaking of projects, like
Mhm.
recently you did this really cool project called the 40-day challenge.
Yes.
Um, and maybe you can explain what it is, but I'll give a quick overview. So, Philip, for 40 days, filmed a video short, so like a TikTok or Instagram reel,
Mhm.
back to back to back for 40 days. Maybe you can dive a little bit deeper and explain what that is, but also answer why did you do it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. I think um when I first thought of the idea, well, it's not something really special or like grand, but at that time, I was having a lots of problems with like perfection, like
Mm,
and just overthinking so much,
okay.
and I was hitting a wall every day, like where I don't think I am where I'm supposed to be, Like
Mm.
I
Quarter life crisis again.
yeah. Like why am I not reaching the next level? Like why do I feel so comfortable every day? Like what's
Mm.
my next like goal or what's my next practical step for me to grow? And then I was just in Montreal. I was in a Korean immigrant church
Mhm.
basement. I was just listening to this pastor's sermon. And it just hit me. It's just like why am I not like just going after why am I not going after what I could do,
Mhm.
which is creating every day.
Yeah. Your potential. Why
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
you going
yeah.
after your
Because
potential?
I know how to shoot, I know how to edit, I know how to tell a story, I know how to put myself onto camera. And I didn't have any specific goal when I started, but just doing it and just me being on social media or any platform was the only goal.
Mm.
And then the idea of the number 40 days is it's really biblical
Mhm.
because um Jesus was just he was basically testified. He was just tempted by Satan for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For 40 days,
yeah
40 nights, right?
yeah
Yeah, yeah.
you know it. And then also there's like 40 years in the you know
In the desert,
in the
yeah.
desert, and there's so many other things, but it just hit me like I don't think I'm not going for the like I'm not doing my best within my potential.
Mm.
So yeah, just I really didn't have any like deeper thoughts. It just hit me like I could just make a video and just commit to it. Can I do it? That was
Mm.
my only idea. Can
Mhm.
I do it?
It was just a challenge to
Yeah, yeah. I
yourself.
was just so mad at myself. Like,
Oh.
can I do it?
Yeah.
Or am I just saying I know I can do it? It's just all in my head. So I was
Mm.
just talking to myself like, okay, right, let's do it. That was my initial idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so that was day 0 or day 1.
Mhm.
How did you keep consistent for 40 days?
Yeah, so that was the challenge.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I was
true.
like, I showed up in a camera looking so cool and like, it's gonna be easy. Like it's nothing. Anybody can do it if they put my mind to it. I thought it
The
would just
quality was so good though. Your video, like, okay, so sorry, quick side note. What's your Instagram so people can check
oh
out
yeah,
some of these videos?
it's SEOH under dash 97. It's like it used to be my personal account, but
Yeah.
yeah,
SEOH_97 on
yeah,
Instagram. That's where you
yeah,
can watch all 40.
yeah,
Sorry, go go
yeah.
go go on. Yeah.
So it was a real challenge. I was so I was so confident that like Philip, I talked to myself like Philip, I believe in you.
Mm.
If you put your mind self, like, if you put your mind to it, you could achieve everything. That's I thought that was such an easy thing to do,
Mhm.
but me understanding how to make a good video
Mhm.
doesn't really relate to uh doing it every day. Like it's the consistency of putting something out was it was such a torture. Like because I try to be more vulnerable and I try to be so personal with my videos that it feels like I feel so naked every time when I put something out.
Mhm.
That's the level that I want to be at. And it just hits me every single day that
Wow.
I do not have like the practice of shooting, editing, and finishing it and putting out and being okay with with crappy videos.
Mm.
Like I think I was just in a very bad mindset of I'm an artist.
Mhm.
I know how to make stuff
The
better
ego.
than the ego of I know how to do it better than you.
Right.
I know how to do it and people will come to me. But when you actually face the marathon and just like putting yourself to the track and running for every day,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that how full of ego I was
Right, right.
and like being okay with bad videos. I was not ready. And
Hmm.
also some videos are so short and it's just I was just not happy with every video.
Mhm.
But like doing it every day, told me to like just be more consistent, be more organized. And I thought if I put myself into 40 days routine, I thought I would automatically just be in a very like organized person, schedule
Day
yourself.
41, it's like smooth
Yeah.
sailing.
Yeah, but I learned so much about myself, how broken I was in a
Wow.
sense that like putting yourself out, like revealing yourself like every layer. It just that's how I felt. And also I don't think I told this to everyone, but
Mhm.
20 on the 20th day,
Mm.
I wanted to give up.
Wow.
I
Halfway.
wanted I wanted to make a video, like make it very fancy because it's my last video, saying, "Hi, it's gonna be my last video," because
Oh.
I was struggling so much.
Yeah, 20 days is not short. That's
Yeah, yeah,
almost a
yeah.
month. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody would think that, it's just a single video every day.
Yeah.
But like letting go of my perfection was the hardest thing.
Totally.
That's what I learned. That's something that I was not aware of myself.
That's fascinating. Like
Mm-hmm.
you went in as a challenge to yourself to see if you can be disciplined,
Mm-hmm.
but coming out on the other side, well, along the way and coming out on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
it was a realization that like you had this ego that you had to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, this day-to-day practice was like forcing yourself to slowly let go of that ego.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say, now that we're a couple weeks away from that challenge, like
Mm-hmm.
would you say your perfectionist side is a little lesser than day zero?
So I went to LPGA, the
Oh, what's
golf
that?
tournament.
Golf tournament? Okay, where's this going?
It's a top world class ladies league for golf.
Oh, LPGA. Okay,
LPGA.
PGA. Okay, yeah.
And then when they were perfecting this short gap of putting the goal into the hole,
Mm-hmm.
they took 5 minutes. Sometimes they took forever to just put it in. And to me, I realized, because they must go every day driving range and hit that golf goal every single day,
Right.
but they still trying to hit that goal into the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that world class players doing that perfect
Perfect stroke putt.
perfect putting, for me, I realized, now I know why I'm not in the world class, because they train every day. They put their mindset into the champion mode, and they I'm sure they go to driving range every day.
Mm.
So for me, I realized I don't have like that, like the drive. I don't have that attitude of me like being that champion, like putting myself, because I should be doing this almost every day.
Mm.
Yeah.
40-day edit every day?
Yeah.
How do you have time for anything else?
Exactly. So like I'm sure like the world class golf players still have their life, and that's, even though that's their job, I'm sure like doing that world class leading like everyday driving range, that golf routine,
Mhm.
for me, I think that's the level that I want to really be at, and then being okay with having that routine. So I
Mm.
think I'm still working on like, being perfect at the
Mm.
same time, not being okay with not having like perfect
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like striving to do better,
Mm-hmm.
but also realizing that even if you're not better or you're not going as fast as you want, that's
Mhm.
also okay. Like
Mhm,
everyone
mhm.
moves at different speeds.
Yeah.
Different opportunities.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
reason
good.
that I brought up like LPGA is because like sometimes they're okay with not putting that goal into the pole,
Mhm.
and then they come back next year and then they do it again. So like I just want to be at a position where I want to put myself into that mindset of like that leading world class leading players.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing.
Mhm.
Would you recommend other people do the same challenge for themselves?
Yes.
40-day edit
Yeah.
or like 40-day whatever challenge is your specialty?
Yeah. Like working under that pressure,
Right.
knowing that you're not the best, I think it brings you to really better at your craftsmanship.
Mm.
And then just not being confident is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just like consistent work is far better than not having anything out.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it taught me so many things about filming and editing,
Hmm.
but also just about me, who I was as in person. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
amazing.
mhm,
That's awesome. Thanks for
yeah,
sharing.
yeah,
Any other crazy challenges you want to try in the future?
yeah. I really want to get in shape,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so like
Gym.
running a little bit of every day,
Hmm.
maybe gym every day.
Hmm.
So like documenting every day consistently
Hmm.
is good too. And then I saw a video of somebody witnessing the sunrise for 100 days.
Okay.
And then they filmed a time lapse and they just
Yeah.
like combined it within a minute video. That made me realize, wow, like as very spontaneous person,
Mhm.
I think I want to document something every day so that I look back and that gives you a very fundamental confidence of what you did, how you faced your own self,
Totally.
your darkness.
Totally.
Yeah. So I
No, that's
think
awesome.
running or like waking up every day constantly, and
Mm,
that's something that I want to do.
cool. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
documenting it along the way so
Yeah.
you can reflect on that, also share with the world and
Mhm.
inspire them.
And I think I want to say it now that
Sure.
I want.
Put it in writing.
Yeah, I want to do 100 days challenge,
Okay.
which is finishing off rest of the 60 videos until this year.
Oh, okay. So 60 more plus
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
from the 40. Yeah.
yeah. Why? I don't know. I think it's something that made me realize who I am today.
Yeah.
And I think I want to just like face about myself one more time.
Yeah.
Like just no matter how crappy or how embarrassing like just the videos are, I just
Mm,
want to be on a platform where like, oh, like I am doing it no matter what. So until 2023 is over, I think I want to do a 100 days challenge.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
we'll look forward to that at
Hmm.
SEHO_97.
Hmm.
But I'll say from my end, like seeing those video edits, like I edit these podcasts myself, like audio and stuff. I don't know how you're able to do like zoom cuts, like text
Oh,
animation and
yeah.
plan the whole script ahead of time too. That's
Yeah.
so impressive.
Yeah, that's I
Yeah.
think something that I learned along the way too.
Oh, okay.
How to be proficient, how to make decent video
Mm.
with great planning. I think
Mm.
that is something that I was not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Like more planning makes better video.
Totally.
I was just like, oh, go out with a camera and shoot anything and bring it all together. You're
Right.
gonna make great artistic aesthetic videos. Never. I think that's like the most important thing within the craft I learned,
Mm.
that you have to have perfect like script in order to tell a good story.
Mm.
And then happy accident happens on top of that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
never like, oh, camera out,
Yeah.
great video comes out. It never works like that.
Mm.
Sometimes does, but I think that was the graduation of me thinking that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the saying, plan the work, then work the plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we definitely highlighted a whole bunch of different points, but like
Mhm.
how has content creation and filmmaking had a positive impact on your life other than the ones that we've already stated?
Yeah. So going back to 2013
Okay.
when I first met you, right? Or 12, was it?
2012, I think.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I I barely spoke English.
Mm.
I still tell this story. I think you were there.
Oh,
Whenever
okay. I never heard this story.
yeah, whenever I speak about my immigration story,
Yeah.
you are the part of that story.
Thank
So
you.
one day I was just looking for my new smartphone, and that came out, and then I had it on me, but it was just gone when the day was over at the choir room,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just looking for my phone, and I couldn't find it, and then so I reached out for help, and then I said, "Hey, like, guys, where's my phone?"
Mm.
Because I couldn't understand
Phone.
phone, like
Yeah.
ph pronunciation.
Right.
That's
right.
how bad of my English was.
Yeah. Well, you were new to the country.
Yeah. But at that time, that was such a embarrassing times where I was like, wow, like I could do better.
Mm.
Like everybody's just making fun of me, although it was just not bad intentions. Everyone's
Mm.
like, "Oh, you mean your phone?"
Mm.
And then the day before, the day right before,
Mm.
I was out in volleyball trial. Like I was doing decently okay, and then I think Miss, I forget, but
One of the
yeah,
teachers,
one
yeah.
of the teacher like yelled out, "Hey, hey, like hey there!" Like she noticed that I was decent, and she's like trying to call me and then correct my form or something. And she's like,
Mm.
"Hey, what's your name?" Like across from the gym,
Mm.
she yelled out, like pointing at me.
Oh, wow.
Hi, like I was so excited. I was just like grade 9, new to the country. I was like, oh, I got picked. And I
Yeah.
said, hi, my name is Peel Up. And then the next day, and everybody laughed. And the next day, I go out in the hallway. Everyone's like,
Aw.
oh, hey, Peel Up. That was my nickname because I didn't
Yeah.
understand how like PH sound
Yeah.
works. So I couldn't even pronounce my name.
Right.
But my heart was always at a place where like I want to be heard. I want to tell a
Mm.
story. But I realized like how could I do that? So I was stuck for like 2 years, like in Canada,
Mm.
and then I realized there's like film and TV class that does like broadcasting every Wednesday.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I was like, well, that's my place. I want to learn how to tell a story, how to speak like
Yeah.
fluently.
Yeah.
And I realized there's magic of editing. I could literally edit one sentence and repeat until I make it perfect.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I remember cutting word to word
Oh,
to
yeah,
tell
yeah.
one sentence. And then that's how I fell in with video making in general.
Okay.
Like me not understanding the culture, language,
Mhm.
people in the school. That was my safe place. That's where I run to. And I still remember the second day when I first find out how to edit. I
Mm.
couldn't go home. Like I stayed up all day until janitor comes at 9
Oh.
p.m. and kicks
Wow.
me out from the editing room. And that's when my like the journey started where I was like, wow, like with broken English. Even though I still speak like not a like fluent local English,
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
but I realized yeah, like this is way of tell a story. This is
Mm.
new method of delivering the good news to the people.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just the like video editing and filmmaking in general. It's just it really gives you new world. Like it gives you new idea of like living.
Mm.
So like that really just like motivate me to make better videos and study more about it. And yeah, even today, although I struggle with like finance and I struggle with, like
As
just
every artist
yeah,
does, right?
yeah. But I realized there's so much more than just living a life, but I really
Mhm.
want to like tell a good story, better story, help others to tell their story to, make this whole world life better, and
Mhm.
also like motivate others to, understand there's whole
Totally.
nother world when you understand how to face your problems with different method, different media or
Mhm.
filmmaking.
Well, yeah, it sounds like through your challenge of not being able to communicate,
Mhm.
you found a passion in communicating, and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
filmmaking is a way for you to
yeah.
communicate as well as build relationships and tell
Mm.
stories. That's really fascinating. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like filmmaking was your passion, also your hobby, also your job. Like, do you ever feel that mix gets muddy, or like you definitely talked about getting burnt out.
Mhm.
Um, does it continue to make you burned out? How do you get around that? Um,
I think it's been uh it's been a while since I started making videos for a living. I think
mm,
it's been 8 years now
oh wow.
that I it's not too long, but I want to say that I know how to turn off a switch when not to really be personal about every project.
Mm,
Yeah, I think it I'm still learning every day, and there's so much to learn about balancing work, hobby, life, spiritual things too. But at the same time, I am confident to say that I understand how to turn off the switch
mhm.
not to be personal about every single project. And there's always a switch to turn on. I really want to like melt everything down. I want to like dissolve everything that I know to this project. So I struggle to find the right balance, but yeah, it's just every day I try to set a time to work with that non-creative like brain
Mm-hmm.
and deliver the best result for a client some sort.
Yeah.
And then some days I sit down and sometimes I purposely just like pray about how I want to do like this video and
Mm-hmm.
like let it go and like putting itself out putting the let the video out
Yeah.
to the public. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I love the switch analogy. It's
Mm-hmm.
like one side of your skill set is for producing product, so you can like get paid and live,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then the other side is I love what you said. Letting yourself go, or
Mm-hmm.
letting go of
Mm-hmm.
what you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then diving into that deeper artistic part.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's I think that's yeah, that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists that do art for work
Mm-hmm.
get caught up in the feeling of like, oh, I need to put myself into this, when
Yeah.
really you're just uh making something for someone else. You're just
Mm-hmm.
making a product.
Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah, yeah.
and then yeah, you don't need to put yourself into it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are opportunities to do that as well.
Yeah, because when I first heard the idea of like, because my mentor when I was 20,
Hmm.
my mentor was like my mentor who taught me like the non-creative like turn switched off work to be good. He told me to don't do everything 100%,
Okay.
and I was just like, you're you're delusional.
What
You're
do you mean
not artist.
100%? Yeah.
How could you not put 100% in it? And then he was right. He understood idea of doing everything 80%.
Hmm.
And that really me like experiencing that made me realize, yeah, like it doesn't need to be like artistic every time. And
Hmm.
also it doesn't need to be bad in
Hmm.
order to deliver the result
Right.
and the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
such a great one of the great mantras to live by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to share about your artistic side?
yeah. No, I think I'm still learning a lot.
Hmm.
I think I'll look back to this podcast episode because I'm like 26 now.
Hmm.
I want to look back to my episode and say that, you were wrong. There's so many things that you had to learn. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so I want to like I wanted to be out in this podcast to
Yeah.
like let everything out, to share everything that I know, just in order to share the information, and
Hmm.
at the same time just look back and see how like
Hmm.
see like you don't understand everything.
Yeah. You ain't seen nothing
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of artists or aspiring artists, content creators, whatever
Yeah,
we want to call
yeah.
them, are gonna look at this podcast and be like, "Wow, there's like a lot of wisdom here." Like
Oh, thank you.
you say you're only 26, but I feel like I learned a lot from you
Oh,
already
thank you so
today.
much.
Like
Yeah.
on what is art, what is creativity,
Mhm.
what is ego,
Yeah.
and not only how that affects you negatively, but like what are some ways to get around that, or to overcome that
Mhm.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Before we get to our fun question, I want to
Mhm.
ask one more time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is your one piece of wisdom to leave with the world?
Um,
You left so many already, so.
yeah. um, Love others. That's the ultimate um value that I hold on to. I think
Mhm,
it's something that I still struggle with because it has such a compact idea
mhm,
within two words: love others. I think that's what Jesus did. I think that's what everybody needs and wants and shoulds and do's and don'ts.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
when we say love others, and I think if we let go of our ego a little bit and try to love others with the work that we do, I think it will be much more happier. Although there's so much to unpack in terms of loving others with all you have, but it's just within craftsmanship too. Anything, I think filmmaking too, like loving others with the work, like making your video to love others is such a hard concept. It's such a difficult concept to understand, but that's one thing. That's one thing that I want to like crack and open. Like,
Mm.
how could I do this videography and filmmaking journey, and also including any other job too? How could I do this thing that I do every day to love others? And
Mhm.
I think that's such a big transition that I had starting like few years ago, rather than going to Dubai. I'm not saying
Fast
anything.
and
I'm
Furious.
not saying anything to who went to Dubai, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's just such an ideal form of videography, like
Okay.
shooting supercars, mansions, lovely life with
Mm.
crazy exotic things.
Mhm.
But it's just like, why do I have this talent to love others?
Mhm.
So that is something that I think everybody should like dive into,
Okay.
because that's really fulfilling.
Yeah. So number one, love others. Number two, find out how your craft, how whatever job you do is done to love others.
Yes.
That's amazing.
No, thank you.
Last question for you. Say this podcast
Mhm.
blows up. I made $1 million,
Oh,
a bajillion dollars.
Oh, okay.
Somebody told me $1 million was not enough. I want to fund your dream project. What
Oh,
would
wow.
your dream filmmaking project be?
wow. Hmm.
Anything you want. We
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
to Dubai if you want.
Yeah. That's
Maybe we do.
That's a really good idea. I'm joking. I think I really want to help. Um, is it any project?
Anything you
Okay,
want, man.
yeah. I
Anything
think
you want.
it's. I really want to help the like 15 to 25 years old immigrant slash second gen Asians, specifically Koreans,
Mhm.
to find their passion.
Hmm.
I don't know what kind of form that is. I don't know how to build that program, but I think that's the ultimate day to day life I want to be at, where I want to help them to understand their potential and their passion. Because I think that's something that I struggled with,
Mhm.
and thanks to God that I found how to edit and then make videos.
Totally.
And I think if I had $1 million,
Bajillion.
bazillion-dollar, I would put in hours to create a good program or company or anything to
Mhm.
help them to find what they're good at, what they love, and why they love it, and have the fun to explore that in.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So that 15 to 25-year-old range, like teenager to young adult,
Mhm.
helping find like more or less their purpose
Mhm.
in life. Like what are you here for? And what talents do you have? And um, how can we reveal those and build those out? Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing,
That'll be
man.
really fun.
Yeah.
Cause that is something that I think I struggled with.
Totally.
And I think still to this day, I think a lot of kids, a lot of same age or same age group, we're all struggling with knowing the purpose in our life,
Mhm.
and then feeling thrilled to wake up next day, and
Mhm.
unpacking that and helping that with that fund. That'll be great. And then eating a lot of Korean food together. And when you go to that fridge, you open it up, there's always full of ramen and like
Oh, that'd be
best
great.
kimchi. Like, yeah, that is something that I would put in for the details. Good food.
That would be so good. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's an amazing answer, and I hope
Yeah.
one day you'll find enough success
Yeah.
to be able to do that for people that went through the same challenges as you, more or
Mhm.
less. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Philip,
Oh, wow.
that's all.
That just flew.
That flew by for sure. So thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
me on Grow Up Level Up this week. Your story is so fascinating. I hope everybody listening enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy this, please leave a comment below about what you thought, as well as what you think of Philip's story and his journey, and maybe about yourself and where you're at with your artist journey and your career journey. Thank you again to Launch Academy for hosting our podcast today.
Yeah.
Launch Academy is Western Canada's premier tech startup accelerator and incubator. If you run a tech startup, we'd love to work with you. So check us out at launchacademy.ca. Philip, if people want to find you and work with you, how can people best get into contact with you?
Yeah, it's Instagram is best way, SEOH_97. And also there's YouTube channel called Fill It Up. Now I don't make wrong pronunciation.
Fill It Up.
Fill it up. So with fill it up with positivity, knowledge. That's my that's my punchline that I thought of. So fill it up. You could watch some of my videos that I made. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we'll for sure link it in the description down below. Make sure to also follow us on Grow Up Level Up at Grow Up Level Up on all the socials. You can follow my personal accounts at SamsonXP on all the socials as well. And if you really like this episode, please consider subscribing to us. Hit the bell icon. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to Philip's channel as well. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, Philip. Audience, it's been a pleasure to serve you.
Oh, it's not that we're making art.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah.